first round
You can
game.
see up on the screen. Don't mean to interrupt you. You can see up on the screen. There is the bracket for that seeding right now.
If UConn wins their first round game and UCLA wins their first round game against UCF,
Oh, goodness.
how much is Mick Cronin going to complain about having to play UConn in
Lord.
Philadelphia?
Or just having can I just get a coach's box on Dan Hurley and Mick Cronin?
That's my gosh.
that's too much.
That would be
Too much.
all time. Those two coaches going to be the most technical fouls in a single game.
Cinema.
I think you could say.
Cinema.
I will say I like Northern Iowa in this region.
I don't
Okay.
hate it.
You hate it?
St. John's all the way.
Yeah. St. John's. Wait a minute. You're coming out of St. John's team that just dominated.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I like Michigan State.
Northern Iowa is the number one scoring defense in the country. They are elite defensively. Ben Jacobson is in his 20th season at Northern Iowa. They've been to the tournament 4 times now, and they've won all 4 of those times they've been in it. But they get after it. They're third in three-point defense. They really slow it down, which St. John's is a little slower-paced team too. Like that could really be a factor if you limit possessions. And with what Northern Iowa brings defensively, I think that could be a really nice 5-12 upset there.
All right, Beam. We're going to ask you for your upset. You got to give it right now. What's your big one?
Put you on the spot.
I'm still trying to look.
All right, I'll jump
There's a
in.
lot going on right now.
I'll jump in. I think I am really, really excited about that Michigan State game. I just don't think when I look at Michigan State facing off with facing off with North Dakota State.
How dare you?
I don't know. This Michigan State team is not what we know from the past. I think there's a world where you look at all this and it is a very gettable bracket.
I hate this because South Florida is really nice too.
Okay.
That's a really strong team.
I do have a caveat. I am asking this question on Sunday evening before these games are played on Thursday and Friday. What is the status of Darren Peterson for Kansas?
They don't
I need to know that.
We won't know until they tip the ball.
See, because honestly, Beam, that's the one I was kind of looking at.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, I mean, a
Baptist is tough.
4-13, that's a classic upset. I would maybe go that route.
Guys,
love
what
how
if
we're just-
Sienna
we're just-
upsets? What if Sienna gets Duke right out of the gates?
We see a world for literally every underdog.
See,
to
but
win
that's
this
what makes
game.
March Madness so amazing. I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
All
So,
right.
Yeah, what if Sienna upset Duke? Woo! Crazy.
All right, want to bring back in the other member of our team, Timmy Hall. We know where the Buckeyes are going. What are your thoughts?
Look, I mean, I think we had the prediction pretty much there, right? We get Duke in the second round if they beat TCU. I was just listening to Nicole talk, a player that she covered when he was at Texas. TCU has just been a steady team. I mean, everybody remembers Jamie Dixon and what he built at Pitt. Pitt was a dog. They were always a tough out. It seemed like they were in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 every other year when he was coaching there, and he brought that same kind of tough, in-your-face mentality to TCU. They have won 9 out of 11 basketball games going up to their loss to Kansas in the Big 12 tournament. So they're a very, very good team. But I do think the guard play for Ohio State with Thornton and Mobley outweighs what TCU is going to throw at you. So it's all – look, I think if you win this first game and get to that matchup against Duke and just try to play spoiler, and if you give them a fight, I think it's a wildly successful season here in Beam. Your take on that from where it was 2.5 weeks ago against Iowa. So I'm just looking forward to see Ohio State do that. I want to see what time we play. I want more noon basketball. I want to watch Ohio State before the show on Thursday. So that'll be fun.
Timmy, if I know how this works, they're going to put Ohio State right at 3 o'clock when Common Man and Timmy airs so that you cannot watch it. No, actually, you can hear the game on the fan, so you'll be able to. That makes Timmy work less. I don't like that very much. So, Timmy, we kind of asked that question earlier, and you kind of answered it there. You think you've got to get out of the first round in my eyes. This is a good TCU team. They played Iowa State well. They played and beat Florida. They've been up and down. But do you think if they beat TCU, it is certainly a successful year for Deebs and this team?
I absolutely do. I think this is sort of where your baseline expectation level is for what the program needs to be going forward. And I hope the administration sees this and feels what this last couple of weeks has been like for the Ohio State basketball fan base, to see everybody really getting involved and getting excited for this and just pushing Michigan the way that they did in the Big Ten tournament. I think you could just You could hear it from the alumni. You could hear it from the former players, how excited they were just with this brand of basketball to at the very least, be a team that is going to be a thorn in your side. If you are not chasing a Big Ten championship, and if you're not a top 10 AP poll team for pretty much the whole season, I would like to settle for being this kind of team when it isn't those years. You can't be ranked in the top 5 every single season, but I think this is where Ohio State basketball needs to be shooting for at the very minimum, and then let's go from here.
All right, he is Timmy Hall. Thanks for joining us, Timmy. While we were talking, we got our next 1 seed. Do you want to give us a guess who it was, Timmy?
Let's see. I didn't see it, so was it Arizona?
He did look. That'll do it for Timmy. It is Arizona. The Wildcats are the next number 1 seed. Not surprising. Although them being the second overall number 1 seed is a little surprising in my eyes. I think that's where they deserve, but I do wonder if that is because of what happened to Michigan in the Big Ten Championship. Did they maybe drop Michigan down just a rung? Beam, do you think that matters at all? The Big Ten tournament ended, 30 minutes ago. Do you think they would have accounted for that?
Yeah, probably, but it doesn't matter, right? I mean, we all know that these number 1 seeds were going to be number 1 seeds no matter what. They were going to get their preference on destination. So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, maybe, but if you are going to win the national championship, you're going to get to the Final Four. You're going to have to play good teams regardless. So I think it's minuscule. Yeah, I think we're all surprised. Michigan has been, I think, the best team in college basketball minus Duke this year. So maybe a little bit surprising, but I think we're still probably going to have some bigger surprises in store for the NCAA tournament. I know for a fact we're still waiting for Miami's name to be called.
Oh, yes, we are.
Which is the thing that I'm looking at the most come here.
Interesting right there. So Purdue gets the 2 seed in this region. You have to wonder if that is because of the trophy they just raised. They earned the 2 line. Reimer, you were just talking about that as we were kind of leading up to the show.
I think it is. I think it really does factor in them winning the Big Ten tournament and getting that 2 seed there in Arizona's region. And we just see now they get Queens. So that's very interesting for sure. And the way they looked against Michigan, I feel like is really scary. They looked like the preseason number 1 that we thought Purdue would be. I got to say, looking at this region for Arizona, it's going to be impossible for me to pick this because I loved Arizona. And first of all, can I point out their matchup, Fins up, Long Island.
Oh, they got Long Island. Fins up.
Yeah. But they also have Wisconsin.
Yeah, 5 seed.
With John Blackwell and Nick Boyd, those 2 can really light it up. And Arkansas with Darius Acuff. I've been high on Darius Acuff, thinking he can make a Kemba Walker type run. So that right there alone, just that little getting to the Sweet 16 is going to be impossible.
Well, I think the other side of it too, with Purdue being the 2 seed, like the winner of the Missouri-Miami game is also going to be dangerous. So I don't know if Purdue's going to be on upset watch, but I know Missouri was a big bubble team coming into this as well. So that's a bubble team that's going.
And of note here is the bubble team not playing in Dayton. We have still not had any of the 4 teams that will be playing in Dayton in this game or in this bracket so far. Nicole, what jumps out to you the most? We'll move on. Come back to the Buckeyes in a second, but in the other parts of the bracket, what jumps out?
I mean, the fact that, honestly, Purdue for me, I mean, I'm not shocked, though, and Reimer and I were talking about this before. I do think they heavily factored in what just happened in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, I think you kind of have to a certain extent.
Beating a Michigan team like that.
Like that, because, again, you said it. Michigan has been that guy the whole year. And the fact that Purdue didn't just always squeaked by, they kind of handled them to a certain extent. And they deserve to be in that number 2 spot, and they deserve to kind of move up in that sense. But I do think when Reimer joked about, I don't know what I'm going to do on this side, I mean, it's true because Purdue is a scary team right now, and the fact that they looked like that against a Michigan team and it wasn't even really close at one point is pretty terrifying when you're going into the most important time of the year. So I'm intrigued on that side of the bracket for sure because I don't know. I think the Boilermakers are going to make a run, a big run.
Oh, wow.
What's also tough for me is I really like Hawaii and I really like High Point. Like Hawaii especially, they are really good defensively. They have a unique defensive scheme where they don't switch anything.
We're going to put the bracket up on the screen here for you.
Very fun. Like they can really get after it.
Does High Point still run the system?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, great.
Also, High Point, they could have this year's Jack Golke.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Chase Johnston. He is first in 3-point attempt rate this year in college basketball. He's only taken 4 2-point shots.
Like a mini Justin Ahrens.
Yes.
Hey, there's a pull. There's a pull.
But Jack Kolke's numbers were very similar. It was first in three-point rate, and I think coming into the NCAA tournament, he only taken two twos. So,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I am beyond impressed that you know that. So
I'm not. He knows everything.
I watch so much college basketball.
He watches more.
And
all the
Reimer,
time.
that is why we have you on this show.
You've even actually spotlighted as a producer for Ohio State basketball on the radio.
I did. I stepped up. That's right. Remember that I stepped up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
So just a quick circle back as to what we know. The Buckeyes, if you're just joining us, they are an 8 seed headed to Greenville, South Carolina. It's an 8-hour drive. Load up your wagons and head that way. And they will play a TCU team that has some really, really good wins this season, including over Florida, including over Iowa State. It's a TCU team that I watched play a game with Kansas State where they came back from 20 down. Mm-hmm. They can battle back. So if you're a Buckeye, that worries you because Ohio State has been susceptible to giving up leads this season. I'm looking at this graphic right here, and I'm now realizing that both of these teams have beaten a 2 seed and a 1 seed.
Yeah.
So these are 2 teams that have proven they can play with everybody in the country. Beam, I'll go back to you. If you're the Buckeyes, how do you think the next, we'll say the next 2 days operate? How quickly are they already sitting down and going through film?
I think they're probably already doing that right now.
Yeah.
I think the bracket was released. They found out their opponent 10 minutes ago. I'm sure that Jake Diebler and Joel Justice, Luke Simons, Dave Dickerson, all those guys are like already in the film room. They don't care who else they're playing. Like, yeah, maybe they're celebrating that they're in for a little bit, but I'm sure that they're already kind of breaking it down. So my best guess is they'll get some more rest tonight. They won't do anything. They'll be back in the gym tomorrow, kind of readying themselves. And then, guys, they'll probably fly out on Tuesday to make sure that they get to the destination for Thursday's game. I'm guessing we probably won't know the tip time of that. It's
At
usually
8 o'clock tonight, we should probably know.
Later this evening, we'll probably know. So we'll see what happens. But, I think it'll be as normal as they can possibly keep it. I mean, you guys have been around enough coaches.
Yeah.
They like to keep the normalcy in their schedule. So
Stay on Buckeye time.
For sure, that's right.
Stay on Buckeye.
I will say, because I feel like from our perspective.
Just to be clear, it is the same time in Greenville, just to be safe.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about that.
That's true.
That's finally helpful.
I will say, though, I think what's hard, because from our perspectives, we look at these brackets and we're sitting here thinking, oh, if they beat TCU, then it's number 1 Duke, and then it could be this. But from the players' perspective, I'm curious how much are they looking at that? You know what I mean? Because they got to get through TCU first. That should be the only team on the mind for these guys. But it's hard not to look at that bracket and say, guys, if we beat TCU, we play number 1 Duke. Obviously, Siena could upset the Blue Devils. I'm not saying that's not going to happen.
Don't write off Siena.
No, I'm not going to write them off. Craziness happens. But I am curious from that perspective of how much Diebler is honing in on these guys of, hey, ignore every other team around our name. It is the Horned Frogs, and that's it. Because it's hard to do that.
That's the job of the coach, right? Is to make sure that they do that. It's a one game at a time kind of thing. And I think the same messaging probably applied to their last 3-game stretch, Nicole, at the regular season. Mm-hmm. It's Purdue, and then it's Penn State, and then it's Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, don't get carried away. If you beat Purdue, then start thinking about crazy things, because that's ultimately when you get got. So I'm guessing the coaches, the staff, even the players like Bruce Thornton and the old leadership of that team are going to try to keep them as focused as possible.
Reimer, I do want to ask you quickly as we kind of reset here. Are you surprised we're now on to the Midwest region? Are you surprised we have not seen Miami of Ohio yet?
A little bit. I mean, I figured for Miami's sake, they might draw it out a little bit and let
just
them,
for funsies?
Yeah, let them anxiously wait to see what their fate is going to be. But with Miami, I feel like they should fully be in. Like, you get 31 wins, it's really tough, and the fact that they just got their first loss in the MAC tournament is it tells you how hard it actually is to go 31-0.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be in. I feel like we will probably see their name pop up here soon.
All right, I want to go back to that West region. We didn't get to spend too much time on it as we're learning the Midwest region right now as well. We saw Michigan is the next number 1 seed. Arizona was the number 1 in the West. Michigan gets the Midwest region. As for we get the 5 seed is Texas Tech. Georgia gets in. Akron is a 12 seed. Now
that Akron in that game.
I like that too.
That's the one.
Upset.
There you go.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Akron.
I do think it's interesting when you look at that. If they consider Akron a 12 seed and Akron won the MAC.
Yeah.
What does that mean? They think of Miami of Ohio. Although Akron not in a play-in game. Alabama, they get the 4 seed. They have been a team that is gettable. You want someone, if you're out there and you're like, all right, who can lose in the first round as a top 5 seed? Alabama has struggled. They just played a horrible game against Vanderbilt that allowed the Commodores to go all the way to the SEC championship. Hofstra. I'm sorry, I said Hop. I got to get glasses. Can I borrow those? Hofstra gets Alabama. We're still waiting to hear Miami.
To your point there, Adam, Hofstra's really dangerous. They haven't been to the tournament since 2001. Cruz Davis and Preston Edmond are.
You got notes over there?
Is this the Cinderella story? Is this Hofstra the Cinderella story?
I think so. And their coach, Speedy Claxton, he played for them. Didn't make it to the NCAA tournament with them. The last time, actually, they made it to the tournament, Jay Wright was their coach.
All right, and there we have it. The 11 seed Miami of Ohio is going dancing. An undefeated regular season earns them that. Good for the committee. I think this would have been one of the most controversial things in college basketball history. You can't go undefeated in a regular season and not make the tournament. They will play SMU. No surprise here in Dayton. So
not a long trip.
That arena is going to be packed.
I think that's going to be
it's going to be electric.
Miami crowd there.
Beam.
Or if there's Dayton fans there, maybe an anti-Miami.
Oh, that's true. I agree. So, Beam, are you happy to see that? Is that where you think it should go?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of. This is nitpicky. I'm kind of upset at their seed line because I think if you go 31-0 in the regular season, I know that they lost to UMass in the first round of the tournament in the MAC, but I think they should have been higher on the seed line. If we're being honest, I think them playing in Dayton is still kind of a travesty. Yeah. I'm happy they made it. They're not going to make excuses for themselves. I know that we can talk about schedule, every, strength of schedule and things X, Y, and Z, but I think the fact that they did make it is good. Not really surprised that they are playing in Dayton. Happy that they got in. So now they get to go to work, and we'll see if that's going to be either a Tuesday or Wednesday game. But I'm thrilled that the committee did put Miami in.
I mean, it would have been I would have been shocked if they left them out. I think, like Adam said, it would have been one of the most controversial things. You cannot go undefeated in the regular season and not go dancing. It would be, they just be completely robbed. Completely robbed, yeah.
So Iowa State, this is interesting. The team that TCU beat this season, they earn a 2 seed. That tells you more as we put the Horned Frogs back up on the screen. That's a team that has played with the best in the country and beat the best in the country. Kentucky gets the 7th seed in the Midwest against Santa Clara. That's going to be a popular pick there. Santa Clara to upset the Wildcats. Reimer shaking his head because he's already got it.
Former home of Christoph Tilly.
Former home of Christoph Tilly. That's what they call it, actually. They have a big banner up.
They
do.
Also, can we shout out Rice State? They get Virginia in the 3-14. It means Ohio's got 4 bids to the NCAA tournament. Ohio State, Miami, Akron, and Rice State.
Well, could have been a 5th today. Dayton didn't do their part against
they did not. We were all rooting for Dayton today.
They did not do their part. All right, guys. As we kind of wind down here, we're going to take a break in between the Midwest region. I want to circle back to this Buckeye basketball team. And we said earlier, what is a good success? We talked to Timmy about it, but want to come back to you guys now that you have the bracket. Now it is what we know. You said just getting in. Mm-hmm. Knowing it's TCU, though, it feels gettable. Feels like a team that the Buckeyes could beat, that the Buckeyes could move on. Do you still think they're playing with house money here, as we did before the brackets ever started?
I never said they're playing with house
money.
That's right.
You don't say that.
I don't like that.
That's right.
I don't like that term.
That's correct. I apologize.
But to your point, no, I feel like now you should go in and win this game. I'm pretty sure you're going to be favored going into this game, depending on the people who look at that and do that for a living. So coming into this game, I think you should probably win this. TCU's best wins probably outmatch Ohio State's best wins. But listen, you also beat a very good Purdue team that just found themselves the Big Ten champion, found themselves in the number 2 line. So yeah, I feel like you should win this game. And then when you get to either Duke or Siena, hopefully on Saturday, then maybe you feel like you're playing with house money because Reimer, as you mentioned, that is like a historically good number 1 overall seed this year.
Yeah, and I'm just looking around at all these other 9 seeds that Ohio State maybe could have gotten. You're looking at Utah State or St. Louis.
Thanks.
As of right now, I would prefer TCU because Utah State's got MJ Collins, averaged 20 points per game, the Mountain West Player of the Year. Like, he's awesome. St. Louis, I love their system too. Robbie Avila, he's awesome for them. Josh Schertz is a great coach. So I think this is right now the best draw for Ohio State with the opportunity to get to the round of 32 and play some more basketball.
All right, Nicole, What are your thoughts? It's funny. We prepared so much for the show. We say it's the unexpected with March Madness, yet it was exactly what I tweeted out. Didn't want to get that out there. And so
insider trading.
It is what we thought it was. So, Nicole, now they get a chance to go play Duke. Are you with it that this is house money? I'll say it. I guess I haven't said mine. I feel like you got to go win this game.
Yeah,
I feel like you win this game, and then it is a successful season.
They are going to win this game.
Oh.
They are going to win this game. No, seriously, like, this is a TCU team that's incredibly, yes, they're skilled, but they're unpredictable. Like Reimer said earlier, they beat some really good teams. They've lost to some teams that they should have beat. And if Ohio State plays the kind of basketball that they have been playing, even in the loss to Michigan, if they play that style of basketball and have Amari Bynum put up double figures instead of 5 points, they're beating the Horned Frogs. I'm not worried about it. They are going to face Duke in the second round. That game's a different story, but they have to win this game, and they will.
All right.
To your point about house money, the 1 seeds have the most pressure. So if you get this win against TCU, Duke has all the pressure playing in front of a crowd that they are with them. So I think Ohio State really likes their chances.
All right. We still have to wait for the 4th 1 seed. We believe it will be Florida. We'll join you in just a few minutes on 10 TV Plus with the newscast. But for now, he is Brandon Beam. Thanks for taking the time. She is Nicole Shearin. You can hear her every day on 10 TV Plus. He is Jacob Reimer on the Buckeye Show with Beam. We'll see you in just a little bit.